very happy. Look at that. It's a beautiful book. We should come on his search. Hello friends,
We won't do
and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading Channel with Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY Elpida, and our very special guest today, Grandpa DIY. Grandpa DIY is a veteran of the US Navy, and he wants to transform his otherwise plain walking stick into a patriotic one. So in honor of 4th of July, our nation's birthday, we are going to help him transform this plain cane into a patriotic one. So stick around. This is going to be a very patriotic episode, and you are still my favorite viewer. All right?
it. All right.
No, you need to talk to the folks.
I'm what?
You need to talk to the folks.
Huh? Folks, if you ain't never met a chief, you may have met one now. A real live one for a while.
The Grandpa DIY was a chief, a master chief in the US Navy for 35 years,
30.
30 years. I gave him 5 more, that's all right? That's all right. The more the merrier, right?
The more the merrier.
So let's start. This is a working cane. We didn't just buy it to decorate it. It's something that Grandpa DIY uses every day. So the first step is to prep it, right? There is some finished material here that will not allow us to paint very well. So we need to take a little bit of sanding through the whole area. How much you want to decorate?
It's in thirds.
Okay, all the way up though?
Yep.
Okay. So we have to do it all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Let the sanding begin.
So I have an 80 grit just to get some of this finish off. It doesn't need to be that abrasive. And then we're going to use a much finer grit to polish and smooth it up.
And next to watching paint dry, the most exciting woodworking activity is sanding. And if you really want excitement, sand and then watch paint dry, right?
Sure.
We are recording this bonus episode on July the 3rd, and here in North Carolina is a very, very hot and very humid day. But regardless, we have a job to do, and Grandpa DIY really wants his cane to be transformed so he can carry it out tomorrow with pride in his country that he fought to protect. So this is what we're doing.
So we're finished with the sanding. We've got it as smooth as we want it.
Yep.
Okay.
Feels really nice.
And then Grandpa DIY can show you exactly where he wants the delineations. And
Yeah.
we can put a piece of tape. You have a very nice sharp.
Okay.
Right.
So we got some painter's tape, which we're going to use to tape off the sections that we do not want paint to get on. This bottom part, I didn't sand it because we need it to be, the same width it was when we took that foot off of it so that it stays on, and we don't need to paint underneath that anyway, so we're going to tape that whole section off.
Take your time and be careful with your taping because you want very sharp separation between the colors, and the time you spend now taping is going to pay dividends in the final project.
Make sure it's nice and smooth so that no paint leaks underneath it. Although in this case, down here, if it was to leak underneath, it wouldn't matter as much because the foot is going to cover that. Okay, now up here at the top where the handle is, we want to keep it natural, the color that it already is. It's got a nice color to it. And we're going to tape off where we don't want any more paint up here. So that's about here. Good?
When you're working with someone else, it's very important to respect their wishes
Try to get
and not
this-
do what you want, but rather what they desire you to do for their project. And that's what we're doing here. And 2 more tapes, right?
Again, just smoothing that down so no paint gets underneath. This would really matter if we got paint up above where we wanted it to be. All right.
And 2 more, and remember that the direction you want them is between here and here, so the top will define the paint you put on the top. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then another one here is the same. We're defining the...
So it looks like we want this to be fairly precise with our delineations of the 3 sections. So we're taking a tape measure to see what that measurement is.
29.5 total.
Okay, divided by 3.
Right.
So our measurement divided by 3 comes out to about 9.8 inches per section. So we're doing a close estimate to what that looks like. And I don't think visually you'll be able to tell if we're a little bit off on any of those.
Again, unless you're really off your measurements, no one will really be able to notice if you're an eighth off. So do not really worry about that too much. Do the best.
So now the 3 sections are marked, and we'll go ahead with taping those off so we can paint the first 2 sections.
Don't worry about it. It's pretty good.
This is way shorter.
Okay.
Where's our eraser? You want an eraser or you want it?
No, I'm just going to eyeball it.
Okay.
Pretend I'm on the line.
Answer? Are you recording?
Yes.
With uncanny precision, Mrs. DIY is marking the cane. I'm always fascinated by how different our world looks when you magnify things. Here's the top of our work surface, our Pegasus folding table, and you can see how different it looks under magnification. It is something to ponder about when you are going around our daily things, how different the world looks to other people, how different the world looks to animals, etc. This is just something that has fascinated me for a long, long time.
Palette here.
We just happen to have a lot of cardboard around,
We do.
and it makes a really nice palette for your paint.
All right, Grandpa DIY. Which is red, which is white, and which is blue?
Red, white, blue.
Perfect. We're going to use the manual method here.
Again, this is his vision and project, so we are doing exactly what he desires and what he has in his mind for us to do.
By doing it this way, also you're taking the paint and giving it the color, your piece the color, but you're still able to see the grain on the wood, and that's really nice. Okay, so the blue is drying. Now we're ready to start on this red.
Beautiful.
So now we've got that deep red color to match the deep blue color on the other end. And this is just about finished, so we're gonna set it to dry. And we will come back and do that middle section with the white.
Yeah. Again, the latest technology at Urban Homesteading. For the paint to dry, we're utilizing our state-of-the-art fan and our state-of-the-art cooling area.
It's a paint drying mechanism.
Correct. It's a mechanism.
Paint drying mechanism.
And a method.
Yeah.
And a process and a system. All of the above.
And a device.
So we'll be back when the paint dries.
So now the red and blue are dry. We're removing the tape on those two sections. And then we will reverse tape that so we can then do the white section.
We're using watercolors for arts and crafts like we did in our last project, and they dry very, very quickly. In less than 5 minutes, we were able to retape the colors. So if you want something very quickly dry, this is your ticket.
And so far I think it's looking really good. The colors are nice with this wood. You can still see the green coming through, which is really nice. So it doesn't detract from it being a nice wooden cane. I don't know if you can hear it, but one of the neighbors has a motorcycle he's just decided to start up.
Not by itself, I assume.
I said the neighbors had a motorcycle, they have just decided to start up.
Okay.
The motorcycle is not doing it by itself.
It might be an AI motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You missed it. She came here and gave it a time. Yeah.
Yep, there's the saw.
Mine.
I hadn't seen it all week, so I had to give it
Mine.
a hug. It's my saw, man.
My saw.
It's my saw. So once again, we're going to use the kills because that's the most of the white that we have. And it's going to do a nice job again, just like on our last project.
One of the rare advantages of a very hot day is that paint dries very, very quickly. Even the kilns took about 5 minutes to dry, which is about as quickly as I've seen oil-based paint dry. So we're taking every advantage you can in completing this project. Part of the secret, of course, is to lay very thin layers of paint. You do not need to be very thick here. And when you remove the paint, if you're doing with a very nice even pressure, as you can see Mrs. DIY doing here, you're going to have a very nice and sharp separation between the colors.
Awesome.
We're very pleased with the separation we got. And if you have any difficulties or any details, you can always touch up. Again, the advantage of a hot day on a very, very thin layer of paint is you can touch up any mistakes you make or any areas that you miss, and no one will know the difference except all of you know now. A little bit of touch up for a spot that Mrs. DIY was not exactly pleased with, but that is not uncommon on a project like that. So make it the way you want it and you will be happy.
Okay.
What are we doing? We're just dressing, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, friends, and here is our makeover of the cane to match our 4th of July decorations, our flag and our yard decoration here. This was a simple project, primarily to show you that you don't have to do a lot to build projects, right? It doesn't always have to be an elaborate thing. And also we wanted to introduce and honor Grandpa DIY for his service to our country and the US Navy, right? I am US Air Force and he's US Navy, so we always tease each other, but I did not stay in service as long as Grandpa has stayed. So hats off to him. Thank you, sir, for serving the country.
Thank you very much.
And we hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know, do you like mini episodes like this? And if you do, we're going to do more for you. From Professor DIY, Grandpa DIY, Elpida and Mrs. DIY, let's celebrate together.